Bam 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 bam. Okay, here we are. We are live. It seems somehow we are fucking live, or something like that. I don't know. Let me see. Let me test. Is this loud? Does this have the quality of being hearable? Yeah. Okay. Fine enough for me, I guess. So, anyways, yeah, here we are. It seems here we are after how much? After like I don't know, 10 days of not streaming in any way whatsoever. We have come once again to do our most important job because yeah, we know that we have to do it. Therefore, we accept the show itself of doing it, let's say. And well, basically, here we are, everybody. Welcome. We are faced with the necessity of putting the final details towards our biggest and most important desire, collection, creation. That is, so to speak, our whole canvas, our whole project canvas, the most complex drawing that I have created so far, I think, on the whole life of mine, I will try to say. So yeah, basically, let me see, is it working? Okay, I should have no problem doing something like this. Ta-da! Right here. Yeah, so basically, we had to continue with this. Last time, we finished these three. Wow. We finished this path. Wow. We did this X. Wow. We did this whole building. Wow. And we did these other three. Wow. And now wait, something more. We did this street also. Wow. So anyways, yeah. We have to continue basically. We have to keep doing what we know to do the best. That is create. I wouldn't call it art, but yeah, create. Let's simply say create, as it is the most formal way to name it. And well, anyways, as always, hello everybody, welcome. Hello, beautiful bad watchers, hello lookers, hello every single one. It seems in this occasion we have the bot finally once again working. It seems, I don't know, so not so bad in that sense. And well, yeah, aside from it, everything else seems to be going kind of okay, I will say. So yeah, yeah. I don't know. It feels like every little time that we keep streaming, we keep thinking, and we keep doing stuff over here. Hello, Klondike. Hello, welcome. Very welcome, be my man. Klondike. Very welcome. It seems after so many hours, we get all the results that kind of we have been wanting, no? One would say, because at the end of the day, yeah, it is amazing to see how much simply putting efforts towards something end up giving back to us, no? That is very funny, I will try to say. And well, I don't know. I think with this, we're kind of entering a new chapter in the life of the potato, because this may not seem that much, but will also bring some other tinier changes that could be beneficial for everybody. I will try to say. I don't truly know how they are going to be seen or perceived, but anyways, what matters the most is the intention behind them, no? So, very fine. Let me see. We have been, so far, I think the most rational thing to do is, instead of trying to talk about anything else, is first and foremost try to tie all of this down and let's say finally give it kind of a goodbye, because to a certain degree it is a goodbye what we have here in front of us. It is real that we are almost not anymore going to do art, at the very least on the foreseeable future, on my side of this potato reality. I wouldn't say it wasn't enjoyable. I wouldn't say it was the worst, but I will repeat what I had been thinking for so long. I now can truly also admire how much work is put behind anything of this sort by real artists, because gaining the consciousness, or yeah, gaining the knowledge about how incredibly painful it is to do anything of this sort, it is that I can say properly, well, very, very well. We are here, and we might as well have spent so much more time than what could have anybody expected on anything of this sort, that yeah, it truly requires a quality of the mind that some people might lack, let's say like that. So yeah, very, very crazy to see that we had done so much, we had gotten so much out of our time. In a certain sense, obviously, sadly, the most or the biggest notion is still the lack of better skills made all of this take probably, supposedly, more time than what it could have been, just because we kind of decided that this needed to be done today, and or not today, in this week, for example, and by ourselves instead of being done by a professional, and instead of being created by somebody who truly knows what is it that they are doing. Because sadly, here we deal with the reality that is, we don't truly have a chance at surviving in a world in which others also create such high quality art. But, and this is, I think, personally the best thing, I don't live in such a world. This is almost the closest thing that I will get to do an experiment of any sort. Not really an experiment, not really a test, but simply a coincidence that happened by itself, I would say. But yeah, very, very, very nice. Let me see. Yeah, I think it is kind of hard to make proper trees like I wanted them to be, because also I have been analyzing, not analyzing as in I came back to this, but just by a glance, I noticed that this tree, for example, is too tall and it lacks more foliage, I will say. Like, for example, it could have one or two more rounds instead of being simply this amount of space, let's say. But I don't know. Kind of crazy to see it like that. So yeah, we have done so much. Probably what is going to happen is I will try to do my best also to explain all of what is inside of this image when we finish with this artwork, let's say. And I will try also probably to add some more tinier details. I guess at the end of the day, although people might not want to explore all of what is contained inside of this, just knowing that we did it and knowing that we put our time for the sake of having something worth watching and put together, just for the sake of all of those things, we can now say, yeah, this is very, very, very nice, my man, and obviously very enjoyable. So yeah, I guess something of that sort seems very fine. And not simply seems, truly is very, very amazing and very enjoyable. But yeah, let me see. Okay, let me swap back to this. And well, I don't know how to in some sense talk about all of what has been this, what has represented in a certain degree all of this time that we spent here, and all of the things that we kind of learned, I think. Or well, I wouldn't say in plural. I will hope there will be something to learn from what we talk about here. I will truly hope, but as always, I don't know if something like that happen. So we just can pray for anything of that sort too, once again, without our direct control or without any real capacity whatsoever of altering the course of events, stuff like that happening by itself, let's say. But yeah, it still feels very, very, very nice. I will try to argue. Let me see. I have been also thinking, I don't know. It has been kind of a long time. It was in reality a whole week, literally, of only doing this, so it will be very nice to finally go back into what is the norm for us and not have to worry about having to think about what is going to be the next thing to add to this or whatever. I truly said from a place of happiness, as it is kind of shocking to realize how much can one struggle to create anything of this sort, and I thought it really wants to do so. So yeah, I don't know. Wait. But yeah, basically here we are. We, once again, as I said, we're observing and we're reaching the final stage of this whole creation. The tinier details are all being added, and after that, I guess, now for real, we have to work on what is going to be the whole, because I think I said it, this is a project for Twitter thread, as in something that represents a good eye-catching image, quote unquote. So yeah, I will now probably need to work also on the text that is going to be present in that thing. I don't even know how I am going to do it, and I don't even know what is it going to be contained inside of it. I think I have a general structure that I might want to follow, I think, and I aside from simply saying I think about it like that, I realized that sadly I might as well truly have problems with putting all of that into practice, and even more making it a reality that it can be also enjoyable for others. I will try to say I don't know. So far, it is incredibly nice at the very least to know and to have the relief of not having to deal with this anymore. Not because, once again, it wasn't enjoyable, but rather because this truly isn't something that I am suited for. So yeah, very, very crazy to see that the most important thing is always we were capable of doing it, and we were capable of surviving this whole experience. So yeah, very, very nice. Let me see. Aside from that, I truly don't have that much of a possibility about thinking almost about anything else. I said it before. I am amazed at the amount of things that we talk about while this whole project was going on. I wouldn't have ever expected to go back into more primal roots, where I literally just talk without any expectation whatsoever behind the simple act of talking. So yeah, very, very, very good to see that it happened like that. I mean, very enjoyable to see and to experience the whole beauty of letting the mind be to a certain degree. Because, yeah, I can't even guess. I simply know it from experience that it still is one of the most enjoyable parts of all of this creation. To simply be present in the moment and to simply do what feels the most correct thing to do in the instant in which we are working. So yeah, very nice to see that we did some more cultivation, as they would say. But yeah, anyways, I guess I don't know. I don't think about it, at least for now, as something sad that we're finishing this, we're calling this, and we're saying, okay, all of this is finished, all of this has reached an end, a final point, but rather just to see it as, you know what, it was enjoyable, and it was truly something that I guess in my sense I would truly say it was recommendable, or it is recommendable for anybody. I can't explain how it feels to create something of this sort. If somebody has somehow never worked on anything artistical, but what I can say in that sense is it truly gives you a possibility of testing your patience on one side, putting into perspective your whole creative drive, if it is that you have any, on the other, and yeah, very, very, overall, very good things, I would say. I don't want to use that word so lightly, but I could even categorize it as one of the easiest ways to build character somehow, to do art like a madman, I guess. Hmm? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it was yeah. I can agree that I also enjoy seeing how all of it felt, and once again, the most the most beneficial thing is the now newfound understanding and not completely created, but at the very least starting somewhere, comprehension about how different creative people struggle so much with doing something that before could have been simply said, "Wow, bro, how is that you can be a block with your art?" And now I can properly get it. I cannot even try to question if somebody says, I am tired of doing art. I can completely see. It is truly something that you can observe on people, and something that you can yourself let yourself live life go through. Sorry. So yeah, I guess as I said, that is truly a benefit that adds so many good sides to it. I might not even think of it as something negative, but just one more of the different sides of this whole path, this whole journey. And I mean, not only that, in another sense, I I truly don't get how it is that to a certain degree I ended up I don't know if it was the topic at hand, if it was me unconsciously doing it or what, but we ended up also, for example, becoming too much of a not too much in the sense of wow this is bad, but rather we ended up more taking a detour towards anything creative, let's say. And by doing so, it is that with these different tools at hand, also it becomes incredibly beneficial, and it becomes incredibly more possible to do anything of the creative sort without truly having to worry about being or not being creative. So yeah, once again, very, very, very nice and very enjoyable. Okay, now let me. I think I can finish this three like this, no? It's only three stores down, I guess. Okay, there it is. Nice three. So, what else can I try to add? Because I mean, I might as well want to add, now that we have finished with everything that might be necessary, at the tinier details, I guess. I guess that is the problem now. To give more quote unquote life to all of this, instead of letting it be so stuck into what actually is. I guess let me. Okay, let me drink water, and after that, I will try to deal with that problem particularly. I think I can try to do something like a car. I know it will fail, but at the very least I will try it. Because also I want to see how good or bad I can deal with something like a car. Mm, let me choose this color and also make it gray like this. Okay. Yeah. Okay, not too big. I mean, I guess in a sense, making a car shouldn't be that hard. I mean, at the end of the day, a car is truly one of the easiest things to always draw, at the very least on tiny places, no? Let's say. I guess in this sense, it might be too tiny because compared to the trash can, almost the trash can is bigger than the car. I guess, yeah. No. Wait. Anyways, let me test. Anyways, let me fucking test. Ah, let me see. Like this. And wait. Yeah, I guess I kind of failed with the measurements of the car tires. If we have to cut them something like that. Let me. Okay, let me go back into this. Now give me a second. And let me go back into this color. And I need to fix this. Yeah, okay. Anyways, I guess yeah, it is very very nice, as I was trying to say before, to have acquired how much this whole process is, in a sense, truly something that takes and requires a lot of patience. And what I don't really get now is how so many creative people can do what they do without ever struggling with the different parts of the process. I was thinking about it as maybe there is some point in which, after having fought back so many instances of the artist itself thinking that what they were doing wasn't worth, after so many instances of that, it ends up reaching a point in which you can say, now, you know what, this is something that I can enjoy doing without really caring about anything else. But I truly don't know if it is like that or not, nor I will even have the capacity of saying and seeing if it works like that or not. I mean it in the sense, okay, I mean it in the sense of probably not everybody has to deal with the same type of stuff, you know? So I think some people might find it kind of crazy to realize that you can never face struggles in the sense of being artistically blocked and having obviously an artist's block, let's say, but still you can also see that some other people might as well struggle as much as they do, not because they really don't have a drive to create anything, something that I would also have said before if it was for the older me, but rather that wait, this is somehow a car. Somehow. I don't even have the possibility of seeing a car myself. But this should be a car. Let me try to do something like this. Wow, this is the best car I have ever drawn in my whole life, I guess. Okay, yeah, that's a car now. Properly a car. No, that is more like a truck now. Yeah, this is a truck. Amazing. Anyways. But yeah, I guess, or not that I guess, I still don't get it completely, as in how some people has the capacity of never finding themselves struggling about this whole artistic desire. Let's call it like that. And my theory might as well be that sometimes you deal with it unavoidably, and by dealing with it as early as you can, you also get rid of the later instances of this same problem arising in your life, let's say. Not because what you can, let's say, do has anything to deal in particular with the problem itself, but rather that, quote unquote, somehow you can see and notice the different problems earlier, because also it is part of the whole process to learn how you might try to deal with these different problems and how you might try to avoid those problems from existing later on. And it is then that I can tend to try and argue that maybe in those occasions, people once again has the incredible advantage of having practiced so much. Now they don't struggle anymore with those type of stuff. On the reality, it also happens that it isn't that they really haven't trained or that they haven't put the time towards anything of the sort. It simply happens that, quote unquote, somehow they realize how much of a beautiful thing it is to solve these different type of difficulties as early as they arise in their lives instead of letting them occupy their minds so much. And I guess, yeah, I don't have the capacity of, in my case, saying I have experienced anything like that, in my case, once again, but I guess for anybody who can say it and who can properly also believe on it, in the sense of, yeah, this happens to me constantly. I don't have any more to find inspiration for what I do, or find if what I'm still creating is worth or not of others' time. I simply do it and I let it exist. That kind of stuff might as well be the most liberating part of this, let's say. And this whole side of time being spent on the things that you like the most, in this case also, with a, I don't know if it is a complete twist or more like just the consequence of having a passion, because at the end of the day, passions already create differences in what our character is, let's try to say, in the sense of, when you can find what truly motivates you to do something, and when you can find what truly gives you inspiration every single time, instead of having to almost ask somewhere else, ask others if it is even necessary in your case, and not know what makes you be what you are, in those instances, sadly it happens that you might as well not truly create what you have been wanting so much, but rather you're only going to project what others, quote unquote, say related to these topics. And in that same sense, it is that once again I think it might happen that some people might be struggling with the whole reality of their efforts being incredibly overshadowed by what others truly try to give them as guidance. And I mean, the sad thing about this also is, in reality, it doesn't mean that the guidance given to us is bad. It just kind of coincidentally happens that when we are searching for guidance, not every single time, but in some cases, it also coincides that that particular guidance might not be applicable in our personal case. Therefore, what we ended up getting had no utility whatsoever, let's say. So, I don't know. I will try to believe that maybe, yeah, okay. How can somebody, if they struggle with this, how can they try to say that they can deal and not have any more this problem? In that sense, I sadly have to say, I don't know. I will guess maybe something related to believing that what you are doing, wait, this is a car, this is a van, or one of those trucks that has a part behind where they can put stuff, and this car is tinier than the bench. This whole car is tinier than the fucking bench. Oh no. Yeah, measurements. Something interesting to have in mind when you create stuff, man. Might as well not even pay attention to that. Oh no. But yeah. I guess basically that is my whole point. In some occasions it happens that somehow we believe we have no obligation whatsoever of kind of trying to do our best and trying to do also what is in our hands, but instead, I don't know if it is to relegate as in something negative or just a consequence of our own inexperience to believe that others need to take as much responsibility as they can about our own problems. But whatever thing it is that makes it be like that, the response is still, I think, the same. What ends up creating any particular sense and what ends up making it be as worth as it can is to notice how truly satisfying it always is to do, let's say, yeah, going back into it, I mean, I kind of said it already, to do what feels the best inside. And I guess that the notion is always inside of oneself, and simply allowing it to exist is what makes it more important than any other side of it. I don't know how to say it. Let me think. Okay, something along the lines of you can manifest your creativity in whichever way you want, and if because you are told something negative about it, it doesn't really mean that what you're doing is in any particular way bad. It just coincidentally happens that the things you are going for end up being an struggle because you believe that what you're doing is by itself already not valuable enough, kind of. And one type of proper solution could be to simply let things like that happen and not occupy so much the mind on matters that I don't really think can be solved. Let's say like that, yeah. But still, I don't see it as something so negative nor so damaging to anybody. It is just a coincidence almost that when we try to do our best, we fail to do so because at the end of the day we're still humans and we are still struggling constantly with the notion if what we think is interesting for us could also be interesting for others. Therefore, properly measuring if what you are trying to, in this case, talking about creativity, what you are trying to put for the rest of the world to see out there and for the rest of the world to consume almost is beneficial or not. If all of those things fail, then we consider that. Yeah, I mean, that is also sadly what happens because I remember hearing about it and not understanding until this time around that sadly one of the biggest problems of somebody who tries to create any particular what is it? Not simply endeavor. Okay, anybody who tries to create something related to any type of endeavor, whichever one it is, sadly also deals with the constant notion of its being somehow not qualified to be as good as it can, but rather needing to be limited because we end up attributing so much of ourselves to our own creation that in a sense, yeah, it is still our own creation, as I said, but it doesn't really mean that our creation really represents what we are or takes the whole form of our life when we make it a reality. And when it also fails, sadly it happens that we now also attribute this particular failure to the whole rest of the existence, let's say. In that sense, when the reality is there is literally no reason whatsoever to try and do anything of that sort. Simply to believe that I don't know if it is we have the chance of or not, more like we simply find ourselves in a world in which we could try or not try to this try to be a fucking motorbike and it failed horribly. I don't even comprehend what the fuck is this. Let me remove this shit. Oh man, yeah, I can't deal with vehicles, I guess. Oh no. I guess now we're on the worst part of this, where I am going to create stuff that is going to make zero sense whatsoever. This is so sad. But yeah, going back at it. And I guess, not that I guess, I was going on the idea of, also it happens that, beautiful enough, we can truly notice in a big variety of occasions how our different efforts don't really need to be so attached to what we are or to what we are doing. And when you can finally separate the work from what is yourself, it is that you can also start to accept, in some cases, more critiques, in some others, more praise. Because, also something that I haven't completely agree upon is the notion that sometimes you don't need to let any possible type of, how to say it, any possible type of good idea affect what you are, in the sense of maybe sometimes somebody is going to say something quote unquote positive, and if you were to allow it to affect you, you will be more than anything else changing what is really your nature, because you took something that wasn't truly created by you, but rather that was tainted by the message of somebody else. And even if it doesn't really come from a bad place, the simple notion of this particular idea, really, once again, as I said, coming from a place of not your own self, sadly makes it a complete reality that now your mind also struggles with identifying if what you're trying to talk about is part of you or not. And yeah, I don't truly acknowledge or try to see it as something so negative. It just happens that we exist in a world in which sometimes not hearing what others say is impossible. And sadly, even more, to believe that somehow we have the possibility of not even allowing our own existence to be filled with the whole excitement that is to get a proper compliment. And not only because, okay, it happens that I think we can get a lot of different type of compliments, but what can really be valued the most is the one in which, for example, what gets said to you might not only be a compliment, but rather a proper critique of what you already created. And it is in those occasions that also what ends up happening is, I don't even think sadly, just as a consequence of nature itself, what transpired with those things end up making all of it be part of an even bigger concept that bestows upon you the knowledge now of how you might improve what you already created, let's say. And in other occasions, it might happen that you don't have such a beautiful possibility, but in this particular area of what you are trying to discuss, it is a constant, always increasing thing, that when you get proper knowledge and when you get, once again, proper compliments, you get the possibility of growing. And by deciding to discard all of that for the sake of, I don't even know why. I don't even wish sometimes to know why. Because sadly, it might as well have to deal also with side of ourselves that end up being related to more unrealistically egotistical parts of our being, let's say like that. And when you find those things to be of that sort, and when you can allow the critique that really gives you a chance of growing to exist in your life and to get rid of everything else, because you notice that in reality, getting told, wow, what you did was nice. Okay, I guess, yeah, thank you, obviously, as always, thank you for what you say, but if you're not going to comment anything else, I might as well not even pay more attention to what you did. But now, if I notice that when you are trying or properly doing something minimally related to a compliment, and you did to such a degree that I also notice how good all of this is, in the sense of me also having the possibility of experiencing the whole side of also realizing with which things I can work with and in which areas I can also keep improving. In those moments it is that I can, let's say, properly feel like I did something, instead of feeling that anything of what I do truly gives no pleasure whatsoever to anybody. Because sadly, I mean, in the highest of the senses, it sadly constantly happens that although we shouldn't seek validation when we don't have any type of validation whatsoever, the opposite also exists in ourselves, in the moment in which we decide that what we did is no more valuable and what we did now is going to be almost non-important for everything else, let's say, when in reality what should always be part of the matter is to notice that our efforts are always making the rest of the things that we do a valuable thing. And maybe it isn't every single day that you can say, wow, all of the things that you did for the sake of this particular project, for the sake of this particular creation, were as good as they could have been. But at the very least, what matters in that same sense is, you know what? You did what was in your hands, and you kept doing that. And now, after so much time, you can also notice how good you are doing. And you can also notice how others now also have the possibility of noticing this same concept. Not only because of what you do and what you did already before, but even more because of the whole nature of, I would say like this, the capacity that we overall always hold about noticing others, let's say. Because in a sense, even if we believe that it isn't necessary for us to notice others, it is almost unavoidable for a part of ourselves to seek to say what seems to be correct to others and to tell them that this particular thing that they did truly seems interesting and that they might as well keep doing it, because at the end of the day, also trying to avoid the whole nature of it is truly a sacrifice that might bring us more harm than any particular good, let's say. But yeah, I mean, it never simply means that stuff is going badly or wrongly. It simply shows that we hold inside of ourselves this high capacity and this incredibly intense, almost capacity of telling others no, I wouldn't even call it critiques, because to a certain degree, it simply represents the most essential part of all of this. Knowledge about the situation, and knowledge about what needs to be done in these type of situations. And because of this knowledge, and because of these tools, and even more, because one is capable of admiring all of that, it is that we can keep working for the sake of allowing it to happen even more, and allowing it to be even more, instead of saying, you know what, now all of the things that I created might as well fail to be kept alive, because I didn't do my job properly, or something of any minimally similar sort, you know? So yeah, I think, let's say like this, there might be a chance, a good, incredibly important chance, at taking feedback from others correctly, I guess. But the problem is, if you were to try and do so, you also have to keep in mind the incredibly big possibility of getting yourself changed. And if you don't notice that what is being said to you is changing what made you be who you were, it is also in those moments that sadly, it isn't that you completely lost yourself, but you will need just to go back and to see what was part of your objective and what was part of your whole intentions, and to once again bring it back into this rest of the world. But yeah, I think I am already starting to struggle with integrating more and more stuff over here. The last motorbike kind of broke me. Can I try to add anything else? Do I have the possibility of trying to do anything more? Let me drink some water in the meanwhile, while I try to think about this. I remember that I said I was not going to integrate any particular beer. I think this is beer, no, any particular airplane. I guess this is the moment to do so. Let me see. How a plane looks, I don't remember. So I'm going to do the most basic thing. You draw something like this. You add one of these things over here. You add one of these things over here. You also should add something like this over here and match the distance of both of those. And I guess you have a plane like this. Now I only need to borrow this incredibly little creation. Let me... Yeah, I don't know. I think still trying to say something else, something kind of different, instead of continuing with this, with what I was talking about before. Not only the whole possibility of working on stuff is always nice, and the whole also chance of doing what feels good is important, but I mean, I still can't completely understand the side of, you need to have conflict. And I think the problem exists in the whole conflict word itself more than something else. I mean, I I am no linguistic student, but I'm pretty sure that the way in which we represent in our minds the different words that we hear and the way in which we envision what those words try to talk about is more often than not what makes them also take such an incredibly huge place in a very influential way. Not it doesn't really matter if it is good or bad, simply in an influential way. After hearing those words, how we represent them in our insights is up to the listener, let's say. But what matters is to see that it happens like that, because the consequence of not taking notice of this is, for example, here, I had been having an incredibly big conflict over time, sorry, when I tried to say and to introduce the concept to other people about needing conflicts in their life. I try to guess that the problem might also be situated in the way in which we treat such ideas, like maybe instead calling it problems, we were to try and say something along the lines of, you can introduce what would be an enticing name? Not so random, varied amounts of... Okay, no, clashes, no. Debates that try to solve the different problems that arise in any particular situation, given in any particular area of life, no, given in any particular place itself of the existence of anybody. If you were to take it from that place, instead of saying, wow, you will have a certain increased need to have conflicts. Because I have already tried to do something minimally similar to that, and I have already also seen how much it fucking fails to try and do it. Sadly. Therefore, trying to talk about from a place of experience, no. It doesn't even work to try and call it conflict. You truly don't get any particular result by doing anything of that sort, I guess. But, yeah, I don't know. I will try to say, in some other areas, we could have some more hope, instead of being so... we can simply say distracted, just negative about this different type of stuff, As at the end of the day, it always will happen that we believe we have everything in control, and we have to introduce concepts that end up making us realize we're staying in a zone of comfort, even if it doesn't seem that negative, the simple act of taking the risk itself is harder than everything else. And not only it is harder, it is more and more annoying to do than any other part of life itself, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. I think still, to believe that things can be fixed and to believe that things can go correctly in any particular direction and anything of that sort could be more beneficial than to believe that, for example, we live in a situation in which nothing can change, no? Because I mean that is also other thing that I haven't tried to properly put together into my understanding. How can you try to motivate somebody who seems to be not willing to get themselves motivated? And although I think the solution is always lying on the case of you simply need to show them how capable they are of doing anything, another more proper one can also be something along the lines of, if you were to discover that not always you are completely incapable of acting in this world and getting rewards out of it, then maybe you will also have an increased amount of hope in the different efforts that you have. Because I was thinking it from the side of this idea that correlates to when you negatively react to actions and different types of behavior that you in reality would want to see more. When you decide to take that whole, let's say, path in your life instead of letting anything be as it should be, and you damage somebody to the degree to which they can't do anything of that sort anymore because they are kind of conditioned to believe that you're, no matter what you do, going to react negatively. It is in those instances that I also believe life itself might as well be, quote unquote, the hardest game to comprehend in this sense, because it happens that, we can't, as humans, as beings that have to deal with our own consciousness, face the reality that sometimes things can go out of our own expected plane of existence without any direction whatsoever. And while that thing happens on one hand, on the other it also is completely real that sadly, on other occasions, so many things could have been different because we could have decided to take action that, if we were to allow the option of, let's say, our whole a more random existence, not random existence, more random based occurrence of events in our life, as long as we're not willing to take not the high, simply the responsibility that means to be alive, we are going to encounter things that might as well make no sense. Because when you yourself have no sense in your life, how can you expect everything else to make sense for you? I mean, I guess in a certain degree of life itself, it happens that we deal with stuff kind of similar to this when we are children and when we have experiences and when we have objectives that are given to us and that we are told are the things we should try to pursue it. But if we end up growing out of them, if we end up, for example, okay, I think I can see it from this place. If it were to be somehow something that I can try to continue to say, maybe in the cases of, for example, having a career, you were to believe that having a career is truly necessary without ever having to stop to think about it. Then when you notice that maybe it isn't even close to a real option, or even close to a real benefit to your life, but rather just another detriment, added to the whole chain of your endless experience through life, it is in those moments that, not in those moments exactly, when you realize that maybe you never truly wanted anything like that to happen, then that you can now for real realize maybe you never truly thought of for yourself what you wanted to do, let's say. But I guess the problem is how it isn't something that happens so scarcely amongst humanity. We believe that it shouldn't happen. And if you were to speak out loud about this situation, and if you were to take note or to mention it to others, you might as well find yourself being kind of put in trouble. Because at the end of the day, not that many people is really willing to hear others say, you know what, I can deal with having to take decisions that don't really seem to be part of my own will, when in reality, even if it might be true that those same people haven't really thought about it for themselves, and they are just simply responding because they are kind of getting the backlash that creates this notion that already created inside of you when you said, they really wish to do this, they already have any particular orientation about doing this, why did I take this path, why did I decide to go for this, why the person that I am wants to do it, not my that is the biggest problem. Not my family, not my society, not my teachers, not my friends, not those who know me, not those who seem to be wanting to help me, not anybody like that, but myself. Who is my person? Is that particular individual really happy with what I chose or not? And okay, let's say this guy isn't happy. How can I try to do something that makes them minimally happy? And how can I try to progress with something that makes them feel minimally appreciated? I guess. But yeah, I wouldn't simply say it is so negative. More like, in some cases, it just happens that we struggle to find any particular objective in the moment, but afterwards they appear. And the question itself ends up opening up the possibility of noticing where we should go next, let's say. Yeah, I think that is part of the whole track, no? That by doing what you can to the best of your capacities, after realizing this particular problem in your life, then you can progress somewhere else. But okay, yeah. I think, I don't know, I have been struggling for the last hour to really add anything else aside from these trees that I already did in the 10 first minutes or so. So I think I can't add anything else, I guess. So, do you have any idea about what I could try to add? I guess I can't. I can't really do anything more over here, sadly. I think it might as well be finished. I guess. I believe it doesn't look that bad compared to what I would have expected all of it to look. But yeah, let me see. We have basically potato over here, looking over there, in something that tries to be a cliff, something that has a very weird type of grass. I never noticed how weird it ended up looking, but at the very least it looks like grass. So, this is the dirt of the cliff. Now, we go zoom out of this, and we zoom into the city itself, and we have a lot of references, not only on this, let me see, not only on this, but also, for example, over here, there is also some type of reference, and the simple fact of bluebirds is another type of reference, and obviously this is one, this is another, this whole thing over here is another, and I mean, it is very well spelled, no? But wow, you do amazing quality content. And afterwards we have more tinier details like this whole building, these trees, this building, this other building. But yeah, I guess yeah, we don't really have that much more to add. At the end of the day, my creativity has some limits, let's say. So this is everything that I can do so far. I guess I think I might as well not want to make it worse by wanting to force any particular addition on it so far. So yeah, I guess I might just simply need to save now. No? I think this is it. Unless I can try to find something else to add. But I mean, I also, for example, prefer to have all of this empty space over here and over here also. I mean, it doesn't really seem to be necessary to have it. I could try to add my name, only for the sake of having my name added to somewhere. I guess, let me do that. I don't really believe in anything like, wow, I am going to get robbed, but just in the case of it happening, let me add it over here. How did you write? Of course, I think it was. Okay. Now this over here, let me add this over here. I guess like this. Now like this. Wow, quality content. I mean, I could have tried to put this into a different layer, no? Fuck! Anyways, yeah. Yeah, this is finished. With this, I can say that this is fucking finished, I guess. No, let me try to make this blend a little bit more, because it still feels incredibly horrible. Let me see. How will it is to me? No, this one no. I can't simply click and make it integrate itself. No, I can't. Wait, can I do something like 50% opacity and pass it over here and over here? Oh my god, this is quality content. Yeah. Give me a second. Let me do it like this, then like this, then like this. Okay, there it is. You can hardly comprehend the letters now. Yeah, that is the best about this. That I fucking destroyed what I wanted to write. There it is. I guess. Harder to comprehend. For the sake of being harder to comprehend, nothing else. So yeah, I guess with this we can say that it is done. We don't have that many dark colors, aside from this building and this other completely pitch black block that doesn't really have anything. We don't have that many dark buildings, dark anything whatsoever. So yeah, let me... I guess yeah, sadly, this is all that it has to offer. I guess. No, Masbrook, no, Masbrook, this is so sad, Masbrook. Because we have literally nothing more to do. This has finally peaked. We have reached the end of everything. We have literally no more art to do, sadly, over here. I guess, yeah. I had only so much creativity inside of me. I failed you, Masuro. This is so sad. I am sorry. I'm sorry, Sensei. But yeah. I guess I will try to see if we can... The piece is looking... Okay, let me wait. The piece, okay. You want to see the whole piece? This is the whole piece, I know. Let me show it to you. We have the potato. Wow. We have this over here that says Lotupo, just in case somebody somehow decided to steal this. Wow. We have this that says something. Wow. We have an airplane over here. Wow. We have bluebirds over here that completely fight against the sky. Wow. I never thought about it. I did this building over here that literally has no reason to exist, but I still wanted to do it. Wow. I did this car, 2D car. Wow. I did the Twitch sign over here, and the rest of the things that you can see, like a building, a phone tower, another building, the X logo. My man, my cat, a cat. This is a cat. This is the most important part of this piece, a cat. There are, I think, 2 or 3 other cats, but this one is particularly important. Why? Because it got fucking killed. No. Wait, I can fade the cat. Can I fade? I can disappear the cat. Oh my god. No. Anyways, yeah. This is everything so far. Yeah. But yeah, this is literally everything that we have. And also, wait, I forgot. We have a bench over here that supposedly should be a human. Then we have a car. Compare the size of this with the size of this, and it makes no fucking sense. But it is not my problem. So yeah. I guess it isn't my issue that I didn't take the proper classes to learn about measurements. Oh my god, another fucking cat. Yeah, basically that. This is over. Now, after... is there any way for me to see how many hours I have been here? I want to, for real now, see how much did I spend trying to create this shit. Anyways, I think not, right? I will guess. View. Full screen. Detach canvas, no. Show, snap, grid, log, guides, no. Edit, instant, soft, rulers, image, properties. Can I, wait, I am not going to fucking dox myself. Let me see what happens if I press properties. Image, properties, image, soft, annotations, dimensions. No, I have no way to see how much no, this is so sad. I can see how much time I spent on this. I guess. I really can't see that. This is so sad. I will never know. I will never have the chance of finally going to my deathbed and saying I worked for 40 different hours on this. But yeah, this is all that we have to do now. Simply to say save, and yeah, now wait, because we need also Krita to not crash in the process, sadly enough. But yeah, I guess this is everything so far. This has been the longest journey so far, and the most painful one in a sense. But yeah, I guess we're going to try and rise over it. I guess. Do we have any particular target? Let me check that. Let me do my proper job. This supposedly should be right. Okay, yeah. Oh my god, we have almost... What happened? Why so few people streaming, my man? What the fuck? What? Why so few? Okay, anyways. The next arc, I don't know. I guess we're simply going back into the normal stuff after finishing this. I guess. Not that I guess, I know. We're finally finished. I will try, probably. I don't want to make it sound so grandiose, because I know it is kind of bad to try and make so much of a noise about this different type of stuff, but I think we might want to go in something more like try to bring different people over here. Or, at the very least, if it isn't that, try to go to other places. Because in the case of me bringing people over here, we did the last experiment with Arkia, and I truly very much enjoy to have people think. I notice that I can feel in a certain sense how the brain starts to grind those gears for the sake of responding to stuff, and it feels nice to do that. On one hand, on the other, a kind of, I wouldn't say a problem, simply a notion is not so many people might be willing to do so, but that is also something that I will try to deal with by myself later on, to properly set up everything so that we can start to arrange all of that stuff to happen more and to let it be something that the rest can also interact with more, let's say. So yeah, I don't know. But basically that might be the next arc. Potato whole family. I guess we have is Klondike over here too? Did he also live? I mean, to a certain degree. Well, compared to me, yes. It is completely true that he's an artist, compared to me. So, not only that, on one side, the next arc might be a new Discord, where literally we have people doing art all together. Because I am fucking angry that nothing like that exists. At the very least here. As I think, in a sense, that is what I wanted to say before. I don't even know why did I get to the conclusion of me wanting to do something minimally related to art. But at the very least, I think it is very interesting to try and do something of that sort, to try and have something to other people, because you still can find places in which something like that might happen because of the consequence of those who have those places existing, but not a play expressly made for that, let's say. So yeah, I don't know, I think that is what I want to do the next. Either that or something more like a gathering place for minds that might as well want to discuss, but I don't know. I believe it is easier to simply ask those artists to gather all in one place, in the sense of there are more artists than thinker. I mean, I don't really know that much people that does thinking, as I know people that simply does art. And yeah, so yeah, basically that. But after that, I don't know where we are going to go next after that. Kind of a good question where we're going to go next after that, I guess. Well, sadly, it also depends on how everything ends up taking time out of my life and how much we can properly advance with all the different objectives truly in a manner in which it feels comfortable, let's say. Because if it were to take too long, maybe the next step will be something slower. If it were to happen quote unquote correctly, we might as well have the possibility of believing that, now we don't have to worry anymore about problems and we can just go and do whatever we want. In the sense of, we are liberated from any other interference from doing what we want. So yeah, I think that is kind of part of this. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, no, wait. I don't really want to leave without saying what the fuck is going to happen after what I already said. What is the next step after that? I really never thought about it. I mean, as always, everything else that happens here will keep happening, as in, the structure of the contents that I create is completely enjoyable for me, therefore, that will remain quote unquote the same. The different variances will be the different books that we read. In the case of us finishing the Mahabharata, something that will probably not happen this year, probably. We also have to keep learning, to keep analyzing different lectures and different courses all together. And we also have places to react, but yeah, I don't know. I guess, yeah, that is everything that I can say so far. So, without further ado, I now also notice that I need to think for the sake of seeing what is the next aim, or the next aim after the next one. So yeah, now let us start a raid where to doing balance. As always, or as I try to say, no, fucking response. I know, okay, it was a watch, nothing bad. I got worried. Everything is fine. Fucking bot. Sorry. Yeah. But yes, basically that. As always, thanks for being here. Thanks for sharing this opportunity for this time, this beautiful occasion. And once again, yeah, this is very enjoyable. Now we can finally get back into the normal. What is it? Into the normal streaming stuff, my man. So yeah, everybody stay safe. Remember to stay nice. Remember to take care of yourself. Remember to be happy to do what you can do to stay good. And now we're leaving. Where to Wonkum doing Paladins. We have no chance to using a red message because I can't exit this screen. So yeah, everybody, goodbye. Remember that we did what we could here. If we can, we're going to get back here whenever it is possible. And if it doesn't happen, at the very least, we'll show it in here. Now, yeah, as I said, leaving, we're raiding Bunkum, doing what Paladins. Everybody, goodbye. Wait, they are raid? They fucking raid?